The USS Indianapolis, CA-35, was a Portland-class heavy cruiser of the United States Navy, celebrated for its significant contributions during World War II but tragically remembered for one of the most devastating naval disasters in American history. Commissioned in 1932, the ship embodied advanced naval engineering for its time, designed for speed and firepower with 9 8-inch guns and a top speed exceeding 32 knots. Throughout its service, the Indianapolis played crucial roles in major wartime operations, including the bombardments of Okinawa and Iwo Jima, and served as the flagship for Admiral Raymond Spruance during much of the Pacific Campaign. However, its most historically significant mission came in July 1945, when it undertook a top-secret operation to deliver components of the Little Boy atomic bomb, including enriched uranium, to the island of Tinian. This mission was a pivotal step in the eventual bombing of Hiroshima, moment that hastened the end of the war. Following the successful delivery, the Indianapolis departed Guam on July 28, 1945, heading toward Leyte Gulf in the Philippines. On the night of July 30, while sailing through the Philippine Sea, disaster struck. The ship was torpedoed by the Japanese submarine I-58. 2 torpedoes hit the vessel in quick succession, causing catastrophic damage and leading to its sinking in a mere 12 minutes. Of the 1,195 crew members aboard, around 300 perished with the ship as it plunged into the ocean's depths. The remaining 900 men were left stranded in open water, with no lifeboats or adequate supplies. What followed was an ordeal of unimaginable suffering. For nearly 5 days, the survivors floated in shark-infested waters, enduring extreme dehydration, hypothermia, exposure, and the constant threat of shark attacks. Many succumbed to these harsh conditions, while others were driven to madness by thirst and despair. The Navy's failure to realize the ship was overdue compounded the tragedy. It wasn't until August 2, 1945, when a routine patrol aircraft spotted survivors, that rescue operations began. By the time help arrived, only 316 men had survived the ordeal, making it one of the deadliest incidents in U.S. naval history. The aftermath of the sinking brought significant controversy, particularly surrounding the court-martial of Captain Charles B. McVay III. Accused of hazarding his ship by failing to zigzag, McVay became the only captain in U.S. history to be court-martialed for losing his ship in combat. Survivors of the disaster staunchly defended their captain, arguing that he had not been adequately warned of submarine threats in the area and that the Navy itself bore responsibility for the lack of escort ships. Decades later, in 2000, Captain McVay was officially exonerated by Congress, a decision that sought to correct the injustices he endured. The story of the USS Indianapolis remained shrouded in mystery for decades until the wreckage was discovered in 2017, over 18,000 feet below the surface of the Philippine Sea. This discovery provided long-awaited closure to the families of those who perished and further cemented the ship's legacy as a symbol of sacrifice and resilience. The Indianapolis stands as a poignant reminder of the human cost of war, the heroism of its crew, and the lessons learned from the failures that led to the tragedy. Its tale has been immortalized in books, documentaries, and films, ensuring that future generations remember both the triumphs and the sorrows of its service.